Chapter 81 Medicinal Bath Recipe. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Finally, he searched the bottom of the cabinet again and found 3 simple leather scrolls. Originally, he thought that this should be a pill recipe or a formation diagram, but then he thought that if it was such a precious diagram, it would not be thrown under the cabinet. After a careful inspection, he found that it was indeed the case. This is not a pill recipe, nor a formation diagram, but a recipe for 3 medicinal baths. No wonder it is not taken seriously. In the world of immortal cultivation, medicinal baths are mostly used by mortals. In the absence of pills and spells, a variety of medicines are boiled and absorbed by bathing to nourish the body, or to treat some external injuries, but this method is not common among cultivators, and it is even a bit useless. However, after Zhou Daoqing carefully inspected it, he found that it was unusual. The quality of these 3 medicinal bath recipes seemed unexpectedly high. Qingyang Medicinal Bath Recipe, first-grade medium quality, requires several first-grade medium quality materials: Baiyang fruit bark, Qingji flower petals, small leaf fire lotus leaves. Use fierce fire to remove the outer layer of green, then use techniques to rub out the juice, simmer over low heat. Finally, dry over high heat to make a medicinal bath sachet for use. Xuanhuan Medicinal Bath Recipe, first-grade high quality, requires first-grade high-quality Baisian Ganoderma lucidum, Yuelu flower, Bianwen tree bark. The techniques are the same, only the last step is to bake at a uniform temperature for 1 month, and finally mix and grind into powder to make a medicinal bath sachet. Jingling Medicinal Bath Recipe, second-grade low-quality, requires second-grade low-quality Shangcang flower, black leaf pear steamed, blood-replenishing lotus seeds, red sun turtle blood. The techniques are the same: mix and steam, use high heat to evaporate the water for several months, and finally leave the light red crystal, grind into powder, and add the essence of flowers to make a medicinal bath sachet. The 3 medicinal bath formulas were not of low quality, and the materials used were extremely professional, not like useless formulas at all. However, the formula did not specify the effect of the medicinal bath, which made Zhou Daoqing a little unsure of the value of the formula. However, he still put the formula away and planned to try it first. If the effect was really good, it might be useful in the future. After a careful inspection, the 2 chose to leave after confirming that the entire room was emptied and there was no other hidden space. However, although the resources here were all moved away and the monks were all dead, it did not mean that it was completely worthless. After all, this was a first-level medium-quality spiritual vein, and its quality was comparable to that of Balan Lake. It was extraordinary to be able to add another residence for the family. A family that can survive for a long time must have 3 burrows. 1 more residence represents not only an extra income, but also an additional way out. No one can guarantee that Tianchi Mountain can always stand firm. The family will inevitably encounter disasters. At that time, if there are several hidden residences, it will be of extraordinary significance. Therefore, Zhou Daoqing contacted the family directly. This place is not far from the family, and it is convenient to use the communication stone to contact, but the 2 of them need to stay here for 3 more days, waiting for the family to take over. Zhou Daoqing returned to the ground and built a small house above the spiritual vein, intending to stay there temporarily. However, not long after, Zhou Daoqing turned around suddenly, looked at the woods behind, and shouted angrily, "Who is it?" Zhao Yunji's perception was also sharp, and she immediately drew her sword and prepared for battle. Zhou Daoqing's eyes were solemn, and his aura was concentrated. He explored deep into the woods, but he only felt 2 weak life breaths, and did not find a powerful cultivator. He approached patiently. As the dense woods were opened, 2 thin figures appeared in front of him. Their clothes were torn and they were shivering. They were about 4 or 5 years old. They looked at the 2 people with panic. Zhou Daoqing and the 2 looked at each other and immediately had a guess in their hearts: these 2 children are most likely descendants of this family. They accidentally escaped the hunting of the evil cultivators and hid in this forest, but for the sake of safety, Zhou Daoqing still drew his sharp blade and looked at the 2 coldly. "Tell me, what are your identities?" That the younger boy was frightened and collapsed to the ground. His legs couldn't stop shaking. Then he saw water stains flowing out between his legs, soaking a large area. Zhou Daoqing raised his eyebrows and was speechless for a while, but fortunately, the older girl next to him had a much better psychological quality. After the initial shock, she trembled and said, We are the Lin family, the one in the red robe, killed everyone. Killed everyone. They are all dead. What surprised Zhou Daoqing was that when the girl said the last word, the fear in her eyes gradually dissipated, and a strong hatred emerged. Zhou Daoqing knew that compared with the weakness and confusion of the teenager, the girl had matured a lot, and began to understand the pain of the death of her relatives and the hatred of the extermination of the clan. Zhou Daoqing sighed. The whole family gradually left only 2 children. He didn't know whether it was lucky or unfortunate. Can you take us away? We don't eat much and we're not annoying. The girl raised her pretty face and stared at the 2 Daos with wide eyes. Zhou Daoqing said helplessly, Do I have to change the pants for this kid? I'll change it for him. Do you know how to do it? I can learn. Zhou Daoqing sighed and said, Well, wait for the family members to come and take them back to Tianchi mountain together. It's better than leaving them here to fend for themselves. He had just taken the wealth of an entire family. If he ignored the surviving children in the blink of an eye, it would be a bit inhumane. Perhaps somewhere in the dark, everything has already been clearly priced. 3 days later, the Zhou family members arrived successfully. 4th aunt, 2nd sister, you are fine. Zhou Daoqing greeted with a smile. The visitors were none other than 4th aunt Zhou Xuanhuan and 2nd sister Zhou Daoyue. They were not sent to other stations, but were responsible for planting spiritual plants in Tianchi mountain. They were considered half-spiritual planters, so they just had time to come. With a smile in his eyes, Zhou Xuanhuan rubbed Zhou Daoqing's head and said, You can do it, Daoqing. You picked up a first-order mid-grade spiritual vein as soon as you went out. This piece of shit is so lucky that 4th aunt can't bear it. Zhou Daoqing looked helpless. He was no longer at the age where he would be very happy if his head was touched and would take the initiative to rub him back, but then I thought about it. No one should go back. Seeing that the 2nd sister was about to extend her hand, Zhou Daoqing hurriedly avoided it, pursed his lips and said, 4th aunt and 2nd sister, hurry up and get down to business. That's right. This kid, Daoqing, is already married, so it's really not suitable. But before he finished speaking, Zhou Xuanhuan looked behind him with wide eyes, and after being stunned for a long time, he hesitated and said, But you have only been married for a year, and your child is already this big? Chapter 82 Business Cooperation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Zhou Daoqing sighed helplessly and recounted what happened here. The 2 finally understood. Zhou Xuanhuan looked serious and stopped joking. There are evil cultivators in the foundation building period here, and they slaughtered an entire family. It's really shocking. I will report this to the head of the family, but these 2 children. Take them back. If they have spiritual roots, put them in Tianchi mountain to study together. If they don't have spiritual roots, send them back to the secular world. Zhou Daoqing made arrangements for them directly. After the 2 sides handed over, Zhou Daoqing and Zhao Yunji also said goodbye directly and rushed to Balan Lake. The 2 had been delayed for a long time and had to get back as soon as possible. 1 month later, in the underground cave, Zhou Daoqing sat cross-legged in it, surrounded by rich spiritual energy, and a layer of rich Wu Earth spiritual energy attached to his body, emitting a faint light. As the breath condensed, the heavy Wu Earth magic power was like a flood that broke through the dam, instantly breaking through the barrier in front. The next moment, the body entered a new level, like a sponge soaked in water, and began to greedily absorb the surrounding spiritual energy. Wu Tu Kun Yugong was running wildly, constantly compressing and converting the attributeless spiritual energy into heavier Wu Tu mana. After reaching the 8th level of qi refining, the mana in the body was further compressed and became heavier and thicker. If the mana of other cultivators of the same level is like wood, then Zhou Daoqing's Wu Tu mana is a brick. Silently feeling the changes in his body, he could clearly feel that after breaking through the 8th level of qi refining, his body was nurtured and became more tough and strong. At the same time, his defense and endurance were also further improved. His breath was long, and his organs, blood, skin, and muscles were far superior to ordinary cultivators. but the only thing that remained unchanged was that his offensive ability was still seriously insufficient, but he became more resistant to beating. But if he wanted to quickly defeat the strong men of the same level, he could only rely on other means. This was a big regret. Slowly restraining his breath, he opened his eyes in the dark, and a ray of joy appeared in his eyes. I didn't expect that it only took a month to successfully break through the bottleneck, that this was faster than he had expected, but after thinking about it, he understood the reason. The advantages brought by the third-level superior technique, Wu Tu Kun Yu Gong, are too obvious. In terms of cultivation speed alone, Zhou Daoqing is not fast, it can only be said to be mediocre, but it is stable and solid, which makes it easier to break through the bottleneck in the early stage. Zhao Yunji had reached the peak of the 7th level of qi refining a year ago, but was blocked by this bottleneck for a whole year. A large part of the reason is that Zhao Yunji's technique is very poor. It is a broken second-level inferior technique, and it is difficult to practice to the foundation building stage. This is also the sadness of small families. Even if there are descendants with extremely high talents, there is no fully adapted technique, and the talent can only be wasted in the end. After the breath stabilized, Zhou Daoqing gathered the spiritual energy around him and ended this retreat. Since returning a month ago, Zhou Daoqing vaguely felt the opportunity for a breakthrough, so he went into retreat directly, and now he has finally made a successful breakthrough. With the strength of the 8th level of qi training, even the strong men of the 9th level of qi training cannot hurt him, and the two sides can only draw at most. And as his strength increases, his own abilities are improved in all aspects, including the control of formation skills, and he should be able to officially start to arrange the first-level superior formation. Zhou Daoqing has been looking forward to the 100 Vine formation, and Green Spirit Sword formation, for many days. If he can successfully refine the formation plate, Zhou Daoqing believes that his strength is enough to match the peak of the 9th level of qi training. And now he has sufficient funds, equipped with convenient magic tools, talismans, elixirs, and even buys a puppet, then his strength will undergo a qualitative change, and it will be difficult to meet an opponent below the foundation building stage. If he goes one step further and finds 2 sets of first-level superior formations suitable for fusion, and successfully uses the fusion formation method to create a new formation, then his strength will definitely be stronger. An ordinary first-level superior formation has the strength comparable to the 9th level of qi training, and even only needs an 8th level qi training strongman to control it to fight against the 9th level of qi training. The power of the fusion array is even higher. Zhou Daoqing estimated that even if he had reached the great perfection of qi refining, it would be difficult to defeat himself in the first-grade upper-grade fusion array, but relatively speaking, the arrangement of the first-grade upper-grade array is more difficult, far from being comparable to the first-grade middle-grade and lower-grade arrays. This retreat will take a long time, so I'd better come out temporarily. It seems that Lao Meng has something to ask me. Stretching lazily, Zhou Daoqing chose to end it temporarily and checked the situation of the underground cave. The quality of the purple qi green spirit bamboo is still improving. It has stabilized at the second-grade lower grade. The overall thickness is a lot bigger, and there are faint purple lines on the surface of the bamboo pole, which looks extremely extraordinary. Moreover, the quality of the purple qi green spirit bamboo is still improving. The other 5 green spirit bamboo shoots have also successfully reached the first-grade upper grade recently, which just meets the requirements of the green spirit sword array. As long as the technology is reached, they can start to arrange it smoothly. The black-patterned lotus in Lingxuan's eyes still has only small buds, but the vitality is much richer, but it will take a long time to mature. While he was looking at it, the communication disc in his arms suddenly vibrated again. Zhou Daoqing took a look and found that it was a message sent by Menyuashan. He only glanced at it twice, and his eyes flashed with light and a thoughtful look emerged. The Spirit Snake sect invites us to open a store together. What's going on? But without staying any longer, Zhou Daoqing left the underground cave and headed for the valley behind. When they arrived, there were only Lin Yuan and several qi refining level 7 masters in the valley. Where are Meng Yuashan and Qin Lai? Lin Yuan yawned and said, Qin Lai is still in retreat. Meng Yuashan went to receive the elders of the Spirit Snake sect. Are the elders of the Spirit Snake sect here? Zhou Daoqing asked. I just came here not long ago, and it seems that they want to discuss some cooperation. I have come here several times before, but I was always evaded by old Meng. He said that this matter has to wait for you to make a decision. Zhou Daoqing nodded and put on a black robe. Meng Yueshan sat upright and said in a deep voice, Elder Han, I can't make a decision on this matter. It still needs the decision of the elders in the sect. Then I wonder when your sect elders can come out of retreat? Han Yi asked anxiously. The cooperation with Shanghai sect was a decision made by the sect after a lot of discussions, and it was related to the development direction of the Spirit Snake sect for a long time in the future. If it succeeds, the Spirit Snake sect will usher in a qualitative change, gain extremely rich benefits, and further bind the relationship with the Shanghai sect. But he has come 5 times, and the elders of the Shanghai sect have been in seclusion, which really makes him anxious. Ahem. A light cough interrupted the chat. Young master. Meng Yueshan blurted out. Zhou Daoqing's face suddenly froze, and he looked at Meng Yueshan coldly. He is an elder of the sect, what do you mean by calling me young master? Meng Yueshan immediately realized the mistake and was about to explain. However, before he opened his mouth, he was interrupted by Zhou Daoqing, saying, this matter does not need the elders to decide, just leave it to me. Chapter 83 Formation and Beast Taming. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Elder Han, who was opposite him, was stunned for a moment. He cautiously spied on this person, only to notice an extremely obscure but terrifying aura as thick as a mountain. Even he, an elder at the 9th level of Qi refining, couldn't help but feel frightened. This kind of strength is even worse than that of the previous elder. May I ask who this is? Out of politeness, Elder Han asked cautiously. After Zhou Dao's reminder, Meng Yueshan immediately reacted and explained, this is the young master of our Shanghai sect. He has full authority to handle matters here. If Elder Han has anything, he can talk to the young master directly. It turns out he is the young master of your sect. He has such strength at such a young age. Han admires him. Zhou Daoqing waved his hand, sat calmly on the stone chair nearby, and said, that's ridiculous. You are from the Spirit Snake sect, right? I wonder what you have come to discuss today. Han Yi also hurriedly sat down and said seriously, I am here on behalf of the Spirit Snake sect to discuss cooperation with the Shanghai sect, hoping to achieve a deeper cooperative relationship. Tell me more specifically. Zhou Daoqing is also curious about how the Spirit Snake sect wants to cooperate. If it is profitable, there is no harm in participating. Han Ye's face showed joy and he quickly replied, to be honest, little friend, the source of this matter lies in the Qi family. The Qi family fought with our Spirit Snake sect and several elders of the 9th level of Qi refining died. Qiu, although the struggle for the mineral veins has ended, the conflicts still continue. So in order to gather power, the Qi family recalled a large number of powerful people to the family, so they had to give up some of their locations, and the store in Beifeng City is one of them. Our sect leader plans to purchase Qijia's store at a low price, and then cooperate with the Shanghai sect to operate the store. I wonder what the master wants. Zhou Daoqing thought carefully, weighed the pros and cons in his mind, and then asked calmly, since you are running a shop, what kind of industry does your Spirit Snake sect plan to run? Han Yi smiled and replied, my Spirit Snake sect knows a little bit about the art of controlling beasts, and plans to sell domesticated spirit insects, monsters, etc., while your Shanghai sect is good at formations and can manage formations. Both are precious and rare skills. Whether it is formations or spiritual beasts, the number in Beifeng City is very small, but the demand among monks is huge, so there is no need to worry about sales. Zhou Daoqing raised his eyebrows in surprise. He didn't expect that the Spirit Snake sect was proficient in such skills, but after thinking about it for a while, he found that it was not difficult to figure out the matter. Since the ancestors of the Spirit Snake sect can tame the 2nd-level Spirit Snake, it shows that they have the ability to control beasts, and it is not unusual for them to be passed down, as Han Yi said. Just relying on the reputation of beast control and formation is enough to set off a huge wave, allowing the shops operated by the two sects to rise rapidly and gain a lot of wealth. However, after Zhou Daoqing thought for a long time, he suddenly asked a question. The reputation of beast control and formation is indeed not small, so have you ever thought about making this reputation more famous? Han Yi was stunned for a moment and asked with some confusion, louder. I wonder what you mean, sir. Now that we already have formations and beast control skills, if we can combine alchemy, weapon refining, talismans and other immortal cultivation skills, will the gimmick be even greater? After saying this, a look of thought appeared on Han Ye's face. He had never thought of such a bold idea, but now that it was brought up, he was immediately surprised and felt that there was much to do. The cooperation of various immortal cultivation techniques, the management of formations, elixirs, spiritual beasts, magic weapons, and talismans, coupled with the cooperation of the forces behind it, this must be a behemoth. Young Master's idea is really admirable, but I can't make a decision on this matter. I need to go back and ask the sect master for his opinion. It's okay. There's no need to worry at this time. Elder Han can just go back and discuss it. Then Han will say goodbye for now. 5 days later, the Spirit Snake sect, Han Yi hurried back as quickly as possible, barely resting along the way. After returning to the sect, he rushed directly into the sect leader's resting place, frightening the other monks of the Spirit Snake sect. I originally thought that Han Yi would be thrown out directly by the sect leader, but unexpectedly for a quarter of an hour, hearty laughter could be heard in the room, a ray of light shot out from the eyes of the leader of the Spirit Snake sect, and a look of surprise appeared on his face. He couldn't help but sigh, this kid has a good idea, and he is definitely not an ordinary person to have such a vision. Han Yi didn't expect that the sect master would agree so much, so he couldn't help asking, Sect master, then we agree to cooperate? Why don't you agree? Not only must you agree, but you must agree with your full strength and thoroughly promote the implementation of the plan. That the leader of the Spirit Snake sect had firm eyes and made a decisive decision, but then a look of thought appeared in his eyes, and he frowned and murmured to himself, we still need to unite 3 forces that are proficient in alchemy, weapon refining, and talismans, which is a bit troublesome. Sect Master, Baifu Pavilion has always been on good terms with us, and we are proficient in talismans. Maybe we can win over them. Han Yi suggested cautiously. Yes, Baifu Pavilion's talisman skills are profound, the sect is pure, and the strength is also good. With a strong foundation builder, all conditions are met. The leader of the Spirit Snake sect nodded slightly, with a trace of satisfaction in his eyes. But there are 2 skills left. What should the sect leader do? That the leader of the Spirit Snake sect considered for a moment, but did not give an answer, but ordered, for now, please reply to the Shanghai sect and tell us that we agree to cooperate and that the Fu Lu lineage is already thinking of ways to make alchemy and weapon refining and ask them if they have channels. In fact, in his opinion, as long as the Spirit Snake sect and the Mountain and Sea sect reach a cooperation, it will no longer be difficult to find a force that is proficient in alchemy, refining, and talismans. There are many forces willing to participate in such cooperation, after all, in terms of quantity, although there are not many forces that have inherited alchemy, refining, and talismans, their number is definitely much greater than that of formations and beast control. With the gimmicks of formations and beast control, it can also drive the sale of other immortal cultivation skills. Both sides complement each other and can make profits. When Zhou Daoqing got the reply, he was relieved. It was a good thing that the Spirit Snake sect could solve the talisman, but he had to consider whether he should choose the Zhou family as the weapon refining force. In terms of emotion, the Zhou family is naturally the best choice. It can greatly drive the expansion of the family industry, and officially enter the Beifang city, and can also take the opportunity to expand its influence and earn more wealth. But from a selfish point of view, once the family is involved, the secrets hidden by himself are likely to be leaked, and the identity of the array master will most likely not be concealed. The pros and cons here forced Zhou Daoqing to consider carefully. This problem troubled Zhou Daoqing for a whole week, and he never made up his mind. Then a sudden news came, which completely changed his mind. Chapter 84 Supporting Tiemushan. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Daoqing, something happened to the family. Come over here as soon as possible. This was the message sent by the eldest brother Zhou Daobai. After only reading it for the first time, Zhou Daoqing couldn't help but frown. I had only been in Balan Lake for a few days, and something happened to my family. It was really puzzling, however, hearing the eldest brother's serious tone. It seemed that the matter was not simple. Zhou Daoqing did not dare to hesitate and immediately got up and rushed to Zhou Daobai's island. "Brother, what happened?" Zhou Daoqing hurried over and saw Zhou Daobai's figure on the edge of the island. He had obviously been waiting here for a long time. Zhou Daobai's face was extremely gloomy, and he carried a long green sword on his back. The aura around his body was extremely sharp, making Zhou Daoqing feel uncomfortable, as if he was about to be cut open. Vaguely, Zhou Daoqing suddenly realized that his elder brother's strength was definitely not as simple as it seemed. He has broken through to the 8th level of qi refining, and he is still practicing the 3rd level high-grade Wutu Kunyue Gong. With his extremely strong defense, few qi refining monks can make him feel dangerous, but at this moment, just standing there, my eldest brother, gave people a feeling of sharpness. Even after carefully exploring its cultivation level, it turned out to be extremely blurry and unable to be fully seen. Not only Zhou Daoqing felt this way, Zhou Daobai's eyes also became extremely deep when he saw Zhou Daoqing coming towards him. Although he did not feel the dangerous aura in his 6th brother, it gave him an extremely heavy feeling, like the pressure coming from the mountains, perfectly resisting his unexpected edge. This 6th brother seems to have become unusual. Zhou Daobai's eyes were meaningful, but considering the seriousness of the situation, he did not take the initiative to ask. Instead, he took the lead and said, "Something happened at home. I don't know what means the Ma family used to convince the Qin family." The two major families jointly sent 6 9th level qi refining people. The strong ones have surrounded Ironwood Mountain, and the family has sent us over to support them. Zhou Daoqing's expression immediately became serious. No matter from any level, this information was extremely serious. In terms of the value of Ironwood Mountain alone, with a 1st level high-grade spiritual vein and thousands of ironwood trees, it is the most important place for the family, if not the only one. Once it is lost, the loss will be no less than 100,000 spiritual stones. And the loss of spiritual stones is not the point. Without the continuous supply of weapon-making materials from Ironwood Mountain, it would be equivalent to digging out the roots of the Zhou family and cutting off a piece of its heritage. This would be extremely fatal to future development and could very well set the Zhou family back for decades. As for the Qin family, although this family is not proficient in weapon refining, they do know how to refine spirit boats. They also need ironwood very much, so they have been eyeing Ironwood Mountain for decades. This is also the reason why the family sent 2 elders to guard Ironwood Mountain. It's just that there is no deep hatred between the Zhou family and the Qin family. The collusion with the Ma family in this sneak attack is really unexpected. At the same time, there are a large number of Zhou family members stationed in Ironwood Mountain, more than 30 Zhou family monks, including Zhou Daobai's grandfather, 5th elder Zhou Changhai, and Zhou Daoqing's grandfather Zhou Xuanhuan. This represents not only 2 family elders at the 9th level of qi refining, but also relatives whose blood is thicker than water. Although Zhou Daoqing was anxious, he still asked calmly, "The other party has 6 strong men at the 9th level of qi refining. The 2 of us will go. I'm afraid it won't be enough. The 2nd elder has already led the hunting team there, and the family will also send people over. We are just assisting in taking the opportunity to meet the people of Ironwood Mountain." Zhou Daoqing nodded slightly when he heard this and said, "Then go over immediately. Yunji, you stay in Belan Lake. Cooperate with Lao Meng if you have anything to do, and wait for my return." "Okay, leave this to me." Zhao Yunji agreed in a deep voice. Zhou Daobai naturally noticed the word Lao Meng, but he didn't ask any more questions. Instead, he was surprised by Zhou Daoqing's calmness and was not at all panicked as expected. The 2 set off immediately and rushed to Ironwood Mountain. Zhou Daobai's pace is fast and fierce, while Zhou Daoqing's is thick and steady. Their speed reaches the 9th level of qi training, and their endurance is extremely high. This made the 2 of them look at each other with admiration. Zhou Daoqing thought to himself, his eldest brother is hiding a lot. On the surface, he only has the 7th level of qi refining, but in fact, he has definitely reached the 9th level of qi refining. But thinking about it, Belan Lake is an important place. How could it be possible to only send 3 monks at the 7th level of qi refining? Perhaps in the family master's plan, Zhou Daobai is the Dinghai Shenzhen here, and the only qualification for foundation building may indeed have been predetermined, but it is not the fourth brother Zhou Daoqi, but this secretive eldest brother. With the two people's full efforts, the 10-day journey took only 6 days to quickly reach the vicinity of Ironwood Mountain. Zhou Daobai looked at the surrounding environment with sharp eyes. Although everything seemed calm and unchanged, he could detect abnormalities in the subtleties. Sixth brother, how do you feel about the situation here? Zhou Daoqing's eyes were calm, considering every detail extremely carefully, and said calmly, it's too quiet, abnormally quiet. Then he explained, Ironwood Mountain has a first-order high-grade spiritual vein, and there is a lot of vegetation growing there. There are so many birds and beasts around it. It cannot be so quiet. It should have been cleaned up. Zhou Daobai nodded secretly and said, it shouldn't be possible to get in through the normal route. I know a secret passage. You can go and have a look. Zhou Daobai was about to take action, but was held back by Zhou Daoqing, don't go. Since they can trap the elders here, they will never let go of this secret passage. They are encircling the point to call for reinforcements, waiting. It's us, if we break in rashly, we will die. Zhou Daobai frowned, but he still suppressed the anxiety in his heart and asked cautiously, Sixth brother, what are you going to do? First use the communication stone to contact the interior of Ironwood Mountain, and wait for reinforcements from Mr. Zhang and his family. Don't rush this matter. Zhou Daoqing chose a more prudent strategy. When faced with encirclement and reinforcements, he was most taboo about reckless rescue and arbitrarily mobilizing manpower, which would easily lead to gradual embezzlement, leading to a more corrupt situation. So after a brief discussion, the two secretly retreated to the depths of the mountain forest, far away from Ironwood Mountain, and waited for the arrival of other tribesmen. 2 days later, the second elder Zhou Chongping arrived and successfully met the two of them, but he also brought worse news. No need to wait, the family will not send anyone over again. The Ma family has taken action against the transportation team of Baichi Pavilion. Dodge Shouyun was attacked by surprise. Shou Rong and the others have already gone to support. Now there is no extra manpower. Zhou Chongping said in a cold voice. Like ice, there is a bit of fierceness in the eyes. Then we are the only ones here in Ironwood Mountain? Zhou Daobai asked, feeling the difficulty of the matter and feeling the pressure doubled. What? Just like us. Zhou Shoushuan, the deputy of the hunting team and a senior of the Zhou family, couldn't help complaining, I really don't know how the family master arranged it. There are 6 9th-level qi refining experts here. I just sent an elder and 2 juniors, aren't they here to die? As soon as these words came out, the atmosphere was once again depressing, and a heavy haze pressed on the hearts of every clan member. Snort, that the second elder Zhou Chongping snorted angrily, and powerful energy hit Zhou Shoushuan's chest, and said loudly, the dignified deputy of the hunting team, is the person who will take over the position of leader of the hunting team in the future only have this kind of character. Chapter 85 Internal and External Cooperation. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Father, I. Zhou Shoushuan's face turned pale. When you are away from home, please call me second elder. That the second elder did not give any face, interrupted him indifferently, looked at the others and said, since the head of the family has arranged it like this, then this is the best arrangement now. If I find someone disturbing the morale of the army again and fleeing from the battle, don't blame the second uncle for my falling out. Don't recognize anyone. The members of the hunting team suddenly fell silent, unable to say a word. Having followed the second elder all year round, they naturally understand the second elder's character. While the second elder was teaching him a lesson, Zhou Daoqing and his eldest brother Zhou Daobai looked at each other, then the two of them connected with each other and released the aura around them at the same time. Suddenly, 2 auras that were no weaker than the second elders covered the surroundings, causing everyone's expressions to change drastically. Zhou Daobai has already reached the 9th level of qi training, and he has not just broken through. He has already stabilized himself at this level and is well deserved to be the number 1 person in the Dao generation. Zhou Daoqing also made no concessions. Although his momentum was less fierce, it was vast, thick, and endless. Dao by Dao Qing, your strength. The second elder's eyes widened sharply, his eyes full of disbelief, and he felt awkward speaking for a while. Zhou Daoqing said calmly, since the family has entrusted this task to us, there is no reason to back down. I also ask all uncles to go all out. All the members of the hunting team couldn't help but swallow their saliva and silently looked at these two juniors with the word Tao, unable to accept it for a while. They never expected that the children of the Dao generation would actually reach such a level of strength, even comparable to the family elders. This also made them feel ashamed. The Shouzi generation was really embarrassed. They were not as good as those above and even worse than those below. However, the two took the initiative to reveal their strength. It also significantly improved morale. The second elder, Zhou Changping, was shocked, but also showed a satisfied smile, and said, yes, there is finally hope for the Zhou family. Then why don't you tell me what you think about this rescue activity? Zhou Daoqing pondered for a moment, and he did have a countermeasure in his mind to deal with such a method of encircling Wei and rescuing Zhao, but the world of cultivating immortals is ultimately different from mortal combat, and the methods used are naturally different. We can only learn from its principles, but cannot completely imitate them. After thinking for a long time, he said, Second Elder, now the Ma family and the Qin family are waiting for us to surrender. We must not act according to their wishes. We must take the initiative to break the deadlock. What are you going to do? Their purpose is to let us break in and save people, so we will do the opposite. Instead of saving people, we will directly attack the opponent's 9th-level qi refining powerhouse with our numerical advantage. Zhou Daoqing's eyes darkened and he analyzed carefully. When the time comes, they will definitely provide support, and the surrounding formation will be in chaos, and the people of Ironwood Mountain will be able to take advantage of the chaos and leave. Okay. The second elder Zhou Changping said 3 words good in a row, which was enough to show his satisfaction. These two juniors really gave him a big surprise. It's really a good idea to break the situation by force and retaliate with the other party's own way. Then act according to Daoqing's plan. The second elder contacted the inside of Ironwood Mountain and got in touch successfully, and the situation he got was much better than expected. The 6 9th-level qi refining experts surrounded and refused to attack. They just blocked all the exit channels and did not really take action. This also made everyone feel relieved, but they couldn't help but feel doubtful. Is the other party really so confident that they can guarantee that they will catch them all in one fell swoop? This was too conceited, which made Zhou Daoqing a little wary, but now the arrow is on the string and must be fired, and the rescue operation must be launched. After the two parties contacted each other, the second elder began to ask about the situation of the encirclement. Only by knowing the distribution of the opponent's 9th-level qi refining experts can he make better choices and target them. However, judging from the last information obtained, Zhou Xuanhuan and others did not know the specific location of the other party. The only thing that was certain was that there were 2 strong men at the 9th level of qi refining at the main entrance, and the others were scattered in hidden alleys. The second elder made an immediate decision based on the information he received, directly besieging the 2 strong men at the 9th level of qi refining on the main mountain road. This is the most unexpected position of the opponent, and the position and number of people are the most clear. However, Zhou Changyuan and others rejected the idea of escape directly from other directions, and planned to directly cooperate from inside and outside. While breaking through the encirclement, they might be able to kill a few of the 9th level of qi refining. The second elder considered that Zhou Daobai and Zhou Daoqing were not weak. They were equivalent to 5 people at the 9th level of qi refining. Even if there was an accident in the plan, they would be able to make up for it, so they agreed. The planned time was chosen in the early morning. The sky has just turned over, the blue-gray sky seems to be covered with a layer of haze, and the mountains are shrouded in thick fog. The footsteps rubbed against the leaves, making a faint rustling sound that echoed through the woods. 3 figures were like ghosts, walking quickly towards the direction of Ironwood Mountain. The Ironwood Mountain, shrouded in darkness, under the seemingly calm surface, is also stirring up waves. Dozens of figures have gathered, ready to rush down the mountain at any time. Zhou Daoqing looked calmly and cautiously towards Ironwood Mountain. In order to ensure the success of the operation, they only arranged for 3 people to take action, while the rest of the hunting team members were outside to support them. When they got closer, they could sense two people stationed at the mountain crossing from a distance, sitting cross-legged on the rocks with their eyes closed and meditating. The two people have strong auras and are both wearing the clothes of the Chen family. They should be the 9th level qi refining experts of the Chen family. Zhou Changping looked at the two men with a sharp and fierce look, as if he wanted to eat them alive. It was understandable that the second elder was so angry. If it weren't for the collusion between the Chen family and the Ma family, the family would never have fallen into the current danger. Moreover, although there were frictions between the Zhou family and the Chen family, the contradictions were far less than those of the Ma family, but the other party acted like this, almost forcing the Zhou family to death. Even until now, everyone was puzzled as to why the Chen family would target the Zhou family. To seize the Blackwood Mountain? Or driven by interests? In any case, the hatred between the two sides has been formed. Take action and destroy these two Chen family bastards. The second elder Zhou Changping took the lead in taking action, and the momentum of the great perfection of qi training burst out, rushing towards the two people with a swift posture, leaving them no room for reaction. The Chen family cultivators were quite powerful. They opened their eyes at the first time and drew out the magic weapon for defense at the fastest speed. Obviously, the two were extremely vigilant. However, the second elder was stronger after all. Although the foundation building pill did not allow him to break through the foundation building stage, it gave him the combat power of the 9th level of qi refining. With a slash of the sword, one of them was directly chopped dozens of meters away and crashed directly into the stone steps behind him. Without giving the opponent any chance to react, Zhou Daobai followed closely and attacked. The extremely sharp sword edge rolled up bright sword flowers in the dark night. The opponent was defeated for a while, and his left shoulder blade was immediately pierced, splashing a piece of blood in the air. With a roar, the Chen family cultivator carried his injured body and forced himself to retreat, and rationally sent a message to seek support signals. Zhou Daoqing's heart tightened, knowing that he had to fight quickly. Chapter 88 Escape Back to Tianchi Mountain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ma Hongtu, take action against two juniors. Do you think my Zhou family has no one? Zhou Yonghan. Zhou Daobai and Zhou Daoqing also raised their heads suddenly and looked in the direction of the sound in surprise. They saw an old man walking from a distance, blocking the two of them as quickly as possible, and withstood Mahonta's attack. Third uncle. Clan leader. Surprise appeared on Zhou Daoqing's face, but the joy did not last long before it turned into thinking. Are the Chen family and the Ma family really planning this just for an Ironwood Mountain and a few family elders at the 9th level of qi refining? At this moment, another terrifying foundation building aura came from behind, slowly approaching here. Chen Zhaoyan, the ancestor of the Chen family, walked calmly from a distance with a spear stained with blood in his hand. This scene made Zhou Daoqing feel nervous. When the other party appears here, he naturally knows what will happen to the second elder Zhou Changping, the 5th elder Zhou Changhai, and his grandfather Zhou Xuanhuan. Inexplicable emotions were brewing in my heart, and my heart felt like it was being suppressed by a huge jack, making me unable to breathe for a long time. Even if there are thousands of emotions, they will only turn into helplessness in the end. Zhou Yonghan, you actually dare to come here. It seems you want to stay here today. Ma Hongtu said coldly. Zhou Yonghan's eyes were deep, with a dangerous light flashing in his eyes, and he said, isn't this your arrangement just to lure me out? Ha ha ha. Ma Hongtu raised his head and laughed, and then a sinister look appeared on his face. Since you know this and still dare to come here, then stay here forever. As soon as he finished speaking, Ma Hongtu held out a pair of golden iron rings. With a powerful momentum like a rainbow, he flew directly forward. His speed was difficult to see with the naked eye. Zhou Yonghan snorted coldly, flipped his right hand, and a bracelet magic weapon appeared, forming a light blue protective halo, blocking the three people. Following the violent sound and violent collision, Ma Hongtu stopped and flew backwards to count to 10, with a trace of surprise in his eyes. As expected of the weapon refining family, such a powerful defensive weapon. Both of them used second-level magic weapons, which were extremely powerful, but Zhou Yonghan's bracelet was obviously stronger, and in terms of value, defensive magic weapons are more precious than offensive magic weapons, and they are more difficult to buy on the market. If you don't have a deep foundation, it is difficult to own them. After Zhou Yonghan blocked the blow, he immediately picked up Zhou Daoqing and Zhou Daobai as quickly as possible and ran towards the family without any thoughts of fighting. "Now that you're here, why leave so quickly?" A gloomy voice sounded from behind. Although Ma Hongtu did not completely stop Zhou Yonghan, he also delayed time for Chen Zhaoyan behind him. The even more terrifying spear weapon was like a swift golden lightning, flying towards him at an extremely tricky angle. Zhou Yonghan's face was ugly, and he knew clearly in his heart that the strength of these two people was not weaker than him, especially Chen Zhaoyan of the Chen family, and was even slightly stronger than himself. It would be difficult for him to escape unscathed today. Sensing the attack behind him, Zhou Yonghan gritted his teeth. A halo appeared on the bracelet in his hand, forming a protective shield behind him. Apart from that, he never made any defensive moves, but further accelerated his pace and rushed towards the family's direction. The quality of the spear magic weapon reached the second level mid-level, and it was a full blow from a foundation building expert. It was far from being comparable to Ma Hongtu's attack. The protective shield formed by the bracelet only lasted for a few seconds before it was broken by the violent force. Poof! Just listen to the sharp spearhead, unstoppably penetrate the skin and muscles, bring out a bloody splash, and spatter on Zhou Daoqing's face. Zhou Yonghan took a breath, but showed no signs of stopping. Instead, he continued to flee, and his pace accelerated a bit. Behind him, Chen Zhaoyan's cold voice sounded, "Don't let him run away. If we deal with him, the Zhou family won't have anything to fear." After waiting for him for so long, how could you let him go so easily? That it was not until this moment that Zhou Daoqing understood the trap set by the two major families. The real purpose may not be Mr. Zhang at the 9th level of qi refining, but the head of the Zhou family. Feeling the powerful aura coming from behind, Zhou Yonghan's heart sank, knowing that in such a situation, it would be almost impossible to return to the family safely. After thinking for a moment, he suddenly exerted force with his hands and threw the two people in his hands directly away. He said calmly, "Go home and report the situation truthfully. Changyi knows what to do." That the sound became farther and farther, and Zhou Daoqing only knew that he was thrown into a perfect parabola in the air, flew over dozens of mountains in a row, and hit the ground with a thud, but he was wearing a turtle shell and had no other advantages. He had a terrifyingly strong defense. He bounced on the ground several times without any injuries on his body. On the contrary, Zhou Daobai on the side was so dizzy that he was stunned for a long time and did not react. Zhou Daoqing knew that the situation was urgent and he would have no chance if he didn't escape, so he grabbed his elder brother and started running desperately. His heart was extremely depressed, as if he was being suppressed by a huge boulder. He knew that after today, the strength of the Zhou family would definitely plummet, and if things got worse, it would be impossible for them to be destroyed from now on. Everything happened so fast, and he was still planning to develop Balan Lake and the valley with peace of mind, but the disaster happened suddenly, catching him by surprise. Gritting his teeth, Zhou Daoqing had a lot of thoughts in his mind. If he was given a few more years, both his strength and formation attainments would be able to reach a higher level, which would be enough to avoid today's disaster. It might even take a few years. If he could refine a first-class formation, he might be able to turn the gears of fate and change everything today. Unfortunately, there is no if. Until this moment, when he saw a family leader die in front of him and the family was facing the crisis of overthrow, inexplicable emotions took root in his heart and intensified, like a nightmare spreading to every corner of his heart. Zhou Daoqing knew that this emotion was called hatred. How could the hatred of exterminating the clan and slaughtering the clan members not be engraved in his heart? However, no matter how complicated the emotions in his heart were, there was only one way in front of him: escape. The Wu-Tu spiritual energy cultivated by Wu-Tu Kun Yugong burst out with terrifying endurance, which was several times the mana of the same level cultivators, supporting Zhou Daoqing to run wildly, from day to night, and from night to dawn, almost tireless. Even Zhou Daobai's legs trembled when he ran, and for a while he couldn't tell who was at the 9th level of qi refining. After running for a whole week, the two of them stopped to rest when they were close to the family area. However, they only rested for a quarter of an hour, took some drugs to recover their strength, and then rushed to the family again. it took them only 7 days to complete the journey of more than 10 days, and they almost broke into the family hall exhausted. Family. Patriarch, Taimu Mountain is a trap, hiding 2 foundation building masters. Except for us, all the troops were annihilated. The clan leader stopped the 2 foundation building masters, and his life and death are uncertain. Zhou Daoqing described the situation as quickly as possible. Boom. What? Zhou Changyi stood up suddenly, his face changing expression, his eyes mixed with shock, anger, disbelief, and grief. 5 minutes later, the melodious bell sounded throughout Tianchi Mountain. Chapter 89 Family Migration. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the critical moment of family overthrow, all Zhou family members were summoned to prepare for the worst outcome. The 2 teams left Tianchi Mountain and rushed towards Sifangfang City and Liyuanfang City, informing the elders of those 2 stations about the family situation and gathering the family's power at the same time, because the family's next goal will no longer be development and expansion, but to maintain family inheritance. At the foot of Tianchi Mountain, hundreds of thousands of Zhou family mortals began to migrate on a large scale under the protection of immortal cultivators. Mortals are the foundation of a family. Without a large number of mortals, there would be no generations of immortal cultivators. So at the first opportunity, the head of the family issued an order to move all mortal monks to Deep Forest Mountain, where Zhou Daoqing accidentally discovered that the family was slaughtered by evil cultivators, has now been occupied by the Zhou family. Although there is only one first-order mid-grade spiritual vein there, the location is hidden enough, hidden in the dense mountain forest. And it is an unknown location. Transferring a group of clan members can also be regarded as preserving the fire to prevent the Zhou family from being destroyed in Tianchi Mountain. A large number of people from the Zhou family, including the Chang, Shou, and Dao families, were also going together. Everyone in the family went to the Deep Forest Mountain with the common people. Nowadays, Tianchi Mountain has become a living target, unable to resist the invasion of the other 2 foundation-building families. Moreover, since the Ma family and the Chen family have reached this level and directly broke out to fight in the foundation-building period, they must be ready to exterminate the Zhou family. Naturally, Zhou Changyi will not have any luck. Even if the clan leader returns safely, if any accident occurs, the Zhou family will directly cut off the foundation-building inheritance, and a century-old foundation will be destroyed. As for Tianchi Mountain, there is a high probability that it cannot be defended. The head of the family, Zhou Changyi, calmly made arrangements and began to seek a way out for the future of the family. In the past, the family had a total of 4 locations, namely Tianchi Mountain, Tiemushan, Sifangfang City, Baichi Pavilion, and Liyuanfang City Weapon Pavilion. These are all official bases, but they are no longer safe and are likely to be besieged by the Ma and Chen families. Therefore, he immediately issued an order to sell the shop as much as possible in exchange for spiritual stones and cultivation resources to be returned to the family. At least for a while, family members cannot go out at will and need to hide. At present, there are only 2 family residences that are still hidden and unknown to outsiders, that is Deep Forest Mountain and Balan Lake. These are the 2 places that the Zhou family has chosen to move to now. However, Balan Lake is too far away and the island is too small, making it not suitable for large-scale relocation. Therefore, the main target is still Deep Forest Mountain. Zhou Daoqing and Zhou Daobai did not return to Balan Lake, but participated in the migration of the tribe. Zhou Daoqing is stationed in Deep Forest Mountain and serves as the family elder. While ensuring the safety of his clan members, he will also expel the monsters around Deep Forest Mountain. Zhou Daobai is mainly responsible for escorting. In order to prevent the whereabouts from being leaked, he can only transfer in small quantities many times and hide the whereabouts of the people in time. This is an extremely huge amount of work. The entire Zhou family is quickly hiding from the bright side to the dark side, trying to survive this huge crisis that is rare in a century. 10 days have passed. All Zhou family cultivators have moved to Deep Forest Mountain, and more than 40,000 ordinary mortals have also moved. The shops in Sifangfang City and Liyuanfang City all sell them at low prices, and they purchase a large amount of cultivation resources and send them to Deep Forest Mountain. Tianchi Mountain has been almost evacuated, leaving only the family head and a few others, waiting for the clan leader to return. At the most depressing moment in the family atmosphere, Zhou Yonghan, the head of the Zhou family, finally lived up to expectations and returned to Tianchi Mountain. Just after returning to Tianchi Mountain, before seeing anyone, he immediately rushed into the cave at the Eye of Lingquan. This once again cast a shadow over everyone's minds. Everyone knew that facing the siege of the two foundation building experts, even if they didn't die, they probably wouldn't be able to escape intact. And the next order from the head of the family also confirmed everyone's guesses. The relocation of all clan members will continue. Fully gather the family power, strictly prohibit going out, and stick to the deep forest mountains. That this almost confirms the current situation of the family. Even if the patriarch comes back safely, this disaster cannot be completely solved. There are only 3 people left on the top of Tianchi Mountain, the head of the family Zhou Changyi, the 4th elder Zhou Changyan, and the 6th elder Zhou Changhuan. These are the only 3 elders of the Chang generation left. They all have gloomy faces, and the gloom in their eyes cannot be dissipated for a long time. "Brother, how is third uncle doing?" Zhou Changyi's face was ashen and his voice was hoarse as he said, "He is seriously injured and his life is approaching." Just 8 words once again tightened everyone's heart, bringing a sense of depressive suffocation. The patriarch's life is short. This time he endured the siege of 2 strong foundation builders. Although he managed to survive with the strength of his magic weapon, he was only at the end of his efforts. Zhou Changyan said anxiously, "Don't we still have spiritual stones left in our family? Hurry up and buy healing elixirs and life-extending resources. As long as the patriarch can hold on, our Tianchi Mountain Zhou family will still stand strong." Chang Yan is right. With the current situation of the family, we must not lose the clan elder, otherwise. Humph. Stupid. An extremely weak cold snort came from the depths of Tianchi behind. Even if I can hold on, how many more years can I hold on? 10 years, 20 years, or 50 years? Clan leader. Third uncle. Uncle Third, why did you come out? The 3 of them did not scold him again and hurriedly stepped forward to help him, but Zhou Yonghan waved his hand and pushed him away. At this moment, the last member of the young generation of the Zhou family, his face is getting older and paler, his breath is sluggish, and he is as erratic as a candle in the wind. A weak voice sounded. "We, Yongzi generation, have supported this family for hundreds of years. Third uncle, I have supported this family for too long. Now that my life is approaching, it is a cycle of nature. How can it be changed by human power? Now that the family has encountered such a catastrophe, this is both a crisis and an opportunity. Ahem, it is said that your Chang generation has prospered and produced many elders at the 9th level of qi refining. Now it is time for you to take responsibility." 4th elder Zhou Changyan lowered his head, his eyes twinkling like a child's, and said reluctantly, "Third uncle, how can we afford it? The family cannot live without you." If it were normal, Zhou Yonghan might have hit him with a mallet, scolded the unlucky child for having no spine, and even fined him a solitary confinement, but this time, Zhou Yonghan forced a smile on his pale face and sighed, "Who has not been born as a child? There is no first time for anything. There must be someone to bear the burden of the family, maybe you, maybe it's the descendants." Speaking of this, the old team leader seemed to have thought of something. After a moment of silence, he said softly, "If you are sure, then rush forward and carry the Zhou family for the next 100 years. If you are not sure. If you are not sure, leave the opportunity to Dao Bai and Dao Qing. Just use your old lives to pave a way for them." Chapter 90, Ruined Tianchi Mountain. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The 3 of them were all in high spirits. They had never thought that the clan leader would speak so highly of the 2 of them. The head of the family, Zhou Changyi, frowned slightly and took the initiative to say, "Clan leader, I know the situation of this child Dao Bai. He has been keeping a low profile for these years. He is actually a genius with 2 spiritual roots. He is even more talented than Zhao Yunji. Now he has reached the 9th level of qi refining. Layer is indeed the most suitable person in the family to break through the foundation. But this kid Dao Qing, patriarch, do you think so highly of him?" Zhou Yonghan smiled and shook his head, saying, "This kid Dao Qing is hiding very deep. Even we have been deceived by him in these years. He has now reached the 8th level of qi refining, and his strength is not even weaker than the 9th level of qi refining, and he should be hiding other secrets. If the family is really on the verge of destruction, he may be a hope. The 4th elder Zhou Changyan and the 6th elder Zhou Changguang suddenly widened their eyes as they listened to the conversation between the family head and the clan leader. The elders are completely unaware of the secrets of these clans. Dao Bai is the 2nd spirit root. Have you reached the 9th level of qi refining? Dao Qing also has the strength of the 8th level of qi refining. No matter in which era, such talent is enough to give a glimpse of the foundation building style, and it is no less than the patriarch Zhou Yonghan. At this moment, they couldn't help but sigh. They all said that their Chang generation was highly talented, but at this time, compared with the Dao generation, they were not at the same level at all. But this kind of information is like a shot in the arm, rekindling hope for the two people who were already desperate, especially Zhou Daobai's talent and strength. As a 9th level qi refining expert with 2 spiritual roots, as long as he obtains the foundation establishment pill, he can achieve a breakthrough with almost 100% success. This means that a strong foundation builder may once again appear in the family, taking over the torch from the old patriarch and leading the Zhou family for the next 100 years. As for Zhou Daoqing, he was weaker in their eyes. After all, from their perspective, breaking through the foundation building was already a lifelong goal. It is even the only goal of the tribesmen of all generations. Ahem. Zhou Yonghan coughed twice, his weak body shook slightly, and blood overflowed from the hole pierced by a spear in his chest. Suddenly, the other 3 people felt as if they were facing a formidable enemy and hurriedly took out a large amount of pills. Zhou Yonghan waved his hand. There is no need to waste the pills. Before I die, Changyi, you can move your family as soon as possible. Maybe, we really should leave Tianchi mountain. The other 3 were silent, and no one wanted to leave their ancestral land, but the facts did not force them to make this decision. Zhou Changyi was silent for a moment and said, Clan Chief, without your protection, there is a high probability that Tianchi mountain cannot be defended. I plan to destroy the Lingquan Eye and take it to the deep forest mountain. Just do it. If it is destroyed, it will be destroyed. If it is not broken, how can it be established again? Nearing the end of his life, the old man became more open-minded. Relocating the Lingquan Eye does not mean moving the entire Lingquan Eye. This is an impossible task. What Zhou Changyi said about migrating the Lingquan Eye was to use the method of fishing in the dry lake to directly break open the entire cave and take out all the Lingquan liquid in the Lingquan Eye. This will directly cause the spiritual spring to dry up and lose spirituality. Even if the spirit spring liquid taken away is moved to the deep forest mountain, it cannot be turned into a new spirit spring eye again. Instead, it can be poured on the original spirit veins to improve the quality of the spirit veins to a certain extent. According to estimates, the spiritual veins of deep forest mountain can be barely upgraded to the 2nd level low-grade level. This is equivalent to transforming a 2nd-order high-grade spiritual spring eye into a 2nd-order low-grade spiritual vein. Among them, the loss was almost no less than 100,000 low-grade spiritual stones. This was not only cutting off the flesh of the Zhou family, but also digging into the roots of the Zhou family, severely cutting off a piece of the foundation that had existed for thousands of years. But at this point, they had no other choice. Zhou Changyi was extremely decisive. On that day, with everyone's distressed eyes on him, he directly chopped up Tianchi mountain and used a 2nd-level low-grade magic weapon, the Jade Spirit Box, to take away all the spiritual spring liquid. By the way, they also took away the blue veins from the bottom of Tianchi. The quantity was very large and had been accumulated over the past several hundred years. There are a total of 9 pieces of 2nd-order low-grade products, more than 50 yuan of 1st-order high-grade products, and more than 300 yuan of 1st-order mid-grade products. Now that the family has lost Ironwood Mountain, its weapon refining resources are extremely scarce. This batch of bluestone can just fill in the gap and maintain the family's future development. Afterwards, Zhou Changyi didn't let go of anything that could be taken away from Tianchi Mountain, including the only 1 acre of 2nd-level lower-grade spiritual fields, which he packed in storage bags and took away. As for the other things that couldn't be taken away, they were all destroyed, and that night, the 4 of them also left Tianchi Mountain and rushed to the hidden deep forest mountain. In just half a month, the prosperous Tianchi Tianzhou family ceased to exist and completely disappeared from everyone's eyes. Tianchi mountain, which once looked like a fairyland, now looks desolate and dilapidated. The lack of spiritual energy has caused the surrounding trees to wither. The fog formed by the spiritual energy gradually disappears and gradually turns into an ordinary mountain. The next morning, the monks from the Ma family and the Chen family rushed to Tianchi mountain under the leadership of the two foundation-building patriarchs. What was left to them was a Tianchi mountain that had been evacuated. Except for the buildings that had been knocked down and the spiritual spring that had been chopped off the top of the mountain, there was nothing else. At the bottom of the mountain, more than half of the mortals of the Zhou family have moved away, leaving only a few villages with tens of thousands of mortals living in them. Seeing this scene, everyone's faces were livid and their eyes were filled with anger. No one wants to spend so much energy only to end up with an empty mountain. Not only did all the Zhou family members leave, but there was no resource left, which reduced their gains by more than 80%. Asshole! Zhou Yonghan, you are really bold. You actually destroyed the entire Tianchi mountain. Ma Hongtu's eyes were fierce, and a dangerous light flashed. In anger, he didn't care about anything and slapped his palm wildly, instantly hitting the mortal village. Rumble. Bang! The building collapsed immediately, and the mortals in cloth were beaten into meat paste. Crying, begging, and screaming were mixed together. The candlelight burned the house and a raging flame rose. This scene scared Chen Zhaoyan and the Chen family monks on the side. Ma Hongtu, what are you doing? Chen Zhaoyan shouted loudly and stopped Ma Hongtu. What should I do? Ma Hongtu asked back, with a sly smile on his face. Since the Zhou family won't leave us anything, then just slaughter all these mortals, which can be regarded as collecting some interest in advance. Chen Zhaoyan's face was ugly. Obviously, he didn't expect that the people of the Ma family would be so crazy and dare to slaughter mortals wantonly, which was no different from the behavior of evil practitioners. For a moment, he was a little hesitant in his heart. He began to question whether the decision to cooperate with the Ma family was correct. What kind of things would such a cruel family do? No one knows. Fellow Taoist Ma, they are just ordinary people, why bother to slaughter them? The most important thing now is to find the hiding place of the Zhou family. Why do we need outsiders to interfere in the actions of our Ma family? Isn't fellow Taoist Chen a little too lenient? Chen Zhaoyan's face suddenly became gloomy. Do you really want to go your own way,